Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in, doing a little video today. On Fridays, I do videos dealing with men, it's kind of two men, but it's also educational for women as well. And one thing I keep hearing about and dealing with and seeing is just the rise in them movies. Now, you can't really say the name of the movies on here, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Them movies that have all of this going on, okay, on the camera. And nasty movies. I have I probably in my life, I remember when I was real young, going over to my cousin's house and finding a drawer of those movies that his parents owned. And we probably tried to watch one VHS, but I can't really remember it. And then I remember in college, it would be some of my teammates. I played college football, so we had 95 guys on the team. And some of my teammates, it would be up to about 8 to 10 of them in a room watching them movies on a 13-inch. Now, here you is, small dorm room, and you got 8 to 10 guys, big, stank, muscular or big bodied, in a little room looking at a 13-inch TV to watch a nasty movie. Something going on. And I used to pop in there, as I'm walking through the hall, or, because I always was dealing with a relationship. I always was with the real thing. I never sat down and watched a movie. That's just my truth. And the reason for me is, the reason why I never got into it, because I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what looking at a screen does for you. Looking at a screen and then touching on yourself, it just does not compute to me. Like for me, I'd rather go out there and do the real thing. And that's actually the issue with them movies is it's stimulating the brain, but it's artificial stimulation. And because it's so on demand, because it's ready made, and today they have so many websites. They might even have apps. I don't know if it's an app, but they got these websites that these men going to. And then they got these other sites that these people signing up on and doing their little, showing their body. And these men just got it right on their phone. And then today you got Snapchat going haywire with all the people on there selling their body through there. Hey, send a cash app, send a PayPal, get this little video in return. So all this stuff just moving at a high clip, and it's affecting the mind, and it's creating and causing an addiction in the mind to where men are becoming zombies and mummies and just going through the motions till they could get their next fix and from that video. And what's happening is on these here videos, these women, this is, the pick of the litter. It is the best body, best voice, best, everything that the devil done got a hold of, stole her innocence, stole her mind, stole her life. Then she gets sucked into this industry, and just her skill set in that bedroom and everything going on is just not realistic because she's a pro at that. So she like the MVP of that sport. And now he watching this MVP do everything. And then he going to a real relationship with a woman who has not lost herself in the way the woman on the nasty movies had, the porn, okay? And so he with this woman, and he wants this classy woman that he can go to the nonprofit foundation galas with, that he can take to church, he can take her to meet mom. And you want this in this woman, but then you got your fantasies over here on these movies and the apps that you visiting. So your mind is being stimulated artificially by these women on your screen, phone screen, computer screen, and then you going over here to this real woman, and you dissatisfied with her. You disgusted with her. You despise her. So the woman, your girlfriend that you're supposed to build with, now here you are, you wanna all this with her because that's what you've been watching over here on your movies, on your websites. Or you don't even want to waste your time with her because she like a fish out of water. And you done seen this woman over here, Bumblebee Triple X, do all kinds of stuff. And what you're not taking into consideration as a man is, this woman over here, that's all she do. She doing that right there. She getting taken advantage of 100 times a day. Your woman over here that you marrying, that you with, that's not her line of work. That's not her job. So she don't practice that every day. You know, she's not like that. And so now here you are as a man, you up in the air, you confused. So what's happening is you've been so artificially stimulated that you can't even build something real with somebody in the real world living a normal life. You can't even appreciate her authenticity and the essence of who she is as a woman because you've been lured in and confused and now addicted to a fantasy that is not real from a movie, from a website, from someone who has lost their soul. They've lost their mind. They do not know who they are. They got to go through all kind of rituals and substances to even get in the mindset to do what they're doing. Or they just got to zone out and trick their mind that this is normal. And you watching that. So it's almost animalistic. And like an animal in a zoo. They become the human version of that. And that's what you watching for your entertainment. And you stimulating your mind. And what you're not realizing is every time you watching this, you getting a release. And then every time you relieve yourself while you watching it, the same part of the brain that is stimulated from a hit of that cocaine is the same part of the brain that's stimulated from the release that you getting. Okay? So now that's why you need it. That's why you keep going back. That's why you need it every day, 3 times a day, 5 times a day. You can't function without it. You start to get cold sweats. You starting to shiver. You starting to have withdrawals when you try to go 7 days without getting on your screen. Guess what? You need help. You need help. For one, you're going to need prayer. If you ever prayed, if you believe in prayer, you're going to need prayer. You're going to need to pray all day. You're going to have to pray without ceasing. When the good book say pray without ceasing, it was talking to you. You're going to need to pray without ceasing, okay? And then guess what? You can overcome it. And this is the thing. You can overcome it because I done coached men who done overcome it. I done worked with men who done wrote books on it. I can't remember the title, but if you go on Amazon and search, you'll find it. I done worked with men who done wrote books on it. You can overcome it. But guess what? This is what you don't realize. When you fail to overcome it, when you fail to overcome that right there, what you doing with them nasty movies and what you doing with Angela every day, what you doing, what you fail to realize is that you blocking your own blessings. You hindering your success. And what I mean by that is your spirit is vexed. So you can't even build with a real woman. You can't build something real because you want her to be on demand, a robot like your phub.com. Like your OnlyFans.com, you want her to be on demand. You comparing her to these women over here. And then the other thing, what you have to realize is that if you believe in God, God watching you. God watching you. Okay. God condones sex inside of marriage. The good book tell you to ravish in the bosom of your wife. That word ravish means something now. So that let me know that God is not opposed to what you doing with your wife. But when you get over here on this screen, on this phone screen, on this computer screen, this TV screen, and you over here going butt wild nasty, and you believe in the Lord, you believe in the spirit around you, the spirit of God, you believe in that. Imagine the show you putting on for His Highness. The show that you putting on for His Highness. How His Highness, how is the omnipotent, omnipresent gonna get blessings to you when you caught up in that kind of sin? When you in that kind of vexation of your spirit, how you gonna get your blessings? Lord can't even visit you because your hand's so nasty. Lord can't even visit you because your spirit's so defiled. The Lord can't even visit you because your mind's so gone. You hear me? Listen, you're going to need to pray. You're going to need to fast. You might need to talk to a counselor. You going to need a counselor. And it could be a male, so you don't have to feel awkward talking to a woman about it. And you just going to have willpower. Guess what? Ain't nothing gonna do your hand like this, okay? It ain't nothing gonna grab your hand and say, grab this thing, okay? Now, do it. Nothing gonna do that. You gonna feel it here. You might get you some jitters. You might feel, a little anxious. You might feel a little frustrated. You might be snapping on your mama when she called you, snapping on your girlfriend when they talk to you, because you feeling sexually frustrated because you used to getting that release. But guess what? Go on, power through it. Go on, power through it. Go on, power through it. Now, see, I know how the brain work. That's how I can understand this, how I can talk to you about this, because I know how the brain work, okay? And they say 99% of men date Angela, okay? And all men, we've all been through that. We've all been through that. Now, when I broke through Angela, when I got past Angela, what I realized is that I was a young man. What I realized, and as a young man, we learned about Angela around 12, 13, 14. I remember being at the boys club, working in the concession stand at the boys club, and the boy I was working with was a Caucasian boy that was probably 3 to 5 years older than me. And he asked me, now that I look back, he liked men's. Back then, I was too young to understand the mannerisms and the vibes of a male who liked males. But now that I'm old and I look back, he liked men's, and that's why he was talking to me about that. He said, do you J.O.? I was like, huh? What is that? And the boy took a coin holder. You know the coin holder that hold the quarters in there and it being a little brown wrapper? He took that and showed me what that means. I probably was 12, 13 at the Boys and Girls Club. Do you imagine my mom and dad probably would have been so mad if they knew that I was at the Boys and Girls Club? I could have been 10, 11. And he said, this what it is. He doing the coin holder between his fingers like this. It go up, it go down, it go up. And so guess what? Who you think finna go try it? Everybody. So men, you getting introduced to that at a young age. I heard the lady, I think from the Red Table, say her grandma taught her how to touch herself when she was 12 or something like that. So what's happening is we being introduced to this stuff at a young age. Yeah, you got your 11, 12, 13-year-old. Okay, be careful. Watch the signs. Pay attention to them now. Because they learning this in school. My mom and dad ain't teach me that. I was in the church every time the hinges of the church door was open. I was in the church. A boy at the boys club taught me that. And then when I went back the next day, he said, I bet you tried it, didn't you? I bet you tried it, didn't you? That was Satan, the adversary working through that boy to defile my spirit, because at that age I was crying out to the Lord. I saw visions of having a platform and affecting millions, reaching millions for Christ. And then here come the devil. You hear me? Working in a boy to introduce me to this. Now, for the good part of it, the good thing is it didn't derail me to the point to where I just was, a zombie. But it's so many men that's going through that, and you might be one of them. Guess what? You got to get control of it. You got to get control of it. Because listen, when I got control of it, guess what? Now imagine going a whole year. Imagine going a whole year without that. Without Angela. Without your little movies that you watch on your phone, computer, or your TV. Imagine going you a whole year without that. Now what I started to realize as I was breaking free, breaking them chains, them shackles, and rebuking the devil, what I started to realize is that, to be honest with you, it was easy. Like once I got going, once you get through day 5, day 7, day 14, it's like what happened is it's like you get stronger. Like my joints felt stronger, my legs felt stronger. It felt like I could jump higher because I was reserving more of me. Okay, they got all the words out here for it and all that. We ain't gonna get into all that. But I was reserving more of me. And then what's happening is you transferring the energy that you would be spilling. The energy. Now remember in the Bible, it was a man who his brother died. And then when the brother died, you supposed to sleep with the brother wife so that she could bear children and continue the lineage. Well, the man went to sleep with his brother wife. But instead of releasing inside of her, he pulled out, spilt it on the ground, and God killed him. Now that represented something different to me. When I read that in a good book, what it represented to me is that we're not supposed to spill that outside of a woman and outside of marriage, outside of a covenant. Now see, back then I don't know if that wasn't considered marriage, but it was their tradition and what he was supposed to do. So that act was still under covenant. It was still under the authorization of the Most High. But when he pulled it out and he spilled it, now he could have been killed for going against the law, the tradition. But to me, what I took it and how I related to today is that right there, okay, your semen's, okay, we'll just say your men in the sea is not supposed to be spilled outside of your wife. So when you in there with Angela and you in there with your nasty movie, you sinning against God. You misusing the tool. Okay, you wearing the tool out, and it's repercussions for it because you're breaking your body down, you're breaking your mind down, you becoming a slave to your impulses, you giving in to your youthful lust, your fleshly desires, and guess what? You're losing integrity, you're losing character, and you're losing self-control. And so when you don't have self-control, and when you cannot master your spirit, that means you cannot reach your full potential. Because in order to reach your full potential and to fulfill your wildest dreams, you have to have self-control. You gotta be able to master your spirit. Because see, a man who can master himself is stronger than a man who can conquer a city. According to the good book, that's what you have to realize. So when you realize this and you put in the work and you start to do the work, Now you find this strength and you get a breakthrough. And so what I realized when I was coming through this, to show myself that I can beat this thing, Angela. Now see, for me, I never got into the movies, all right? And it just didn't make no sense to me, because okay, what you doing with that movie? You watching that movie in the bathroom? You watching in your room? And you got a towel? Like, you just got too much going on, okay? So I never got into the movie, bro. Come on now, you got to get beyond that. Now I want you to feel a little foolish about that. I want you to feel a little foolish about it, because just think about it. It's a little foolish. So come on now. But then it's just Angela, okay? Angela with the mind, with what you vision, what you picturing, all right? And then when you start to beat this thing, you're going to get that strength. What I started to realize as a man, when I started to abstain from fornication, and then abstain, when I abstained from adultery after I got married, and I said, I'm not going to be an adulterer. So, and I'm going to be a one-woman man. That also was a form of abstinence. It was a form of self-control, because there's men and women that's out there and that's available to even married men. It's men and women you could walk up to and holler at, and she ain't got to know that you married. So it's still plenty of opportunity. So I still had to have self-control. Now, see, had I been given into those movies, it would have diminished my self-control. And that's why you're going to find a correlation of, if you into the movies, you also going to be unfaithful at some point, because now you want to live out, you want to carry out, you want to enact what you're watching in the movies. Because see, what you have to realize about lust is that it cannot be quenched. It has to be starved to death. See, with lust, when you feed lust with that movie, with Angela, when you feed lust, it gets stronger. It gets stronger. It starts to mutate. It starts to consume you. It starts to take over. That becomes your every waking thought. So now you looking at you at church, you looking at the pastor wife, and you picturing the pastor wife in the role of Bumblebee Triple X. What pastor wife will look like in Lou Booty 901 movie. You sitting in church in all kind of sin. You looking at your cousin. You looking at your professor. You looking at all your co-workers. Every last one of them you looking at. You just seeing them butt bunky in their birthday suit, playing the role of Bumblebee Triple X. Because you consume. Because it's taking over you. Now see, listen to me. I have not been there, but I know, and I know I'm talking to you because I understand how the mind works, and I understand lust. And when you give into lust, you hear me? Because the same thing could happen, because the same thing happened with me doing the real thing. See, I wasn't watching the movies, but I was out there sowing my wild oats. So it's still feeding lust. Now, what's worse about doing the real thing is that you forming real soul ties. See, when you just on that computer screen, you're not actually forming a real soul tie, but you are forming a soul tie. What I mean by this is that your soul is tied to that act. It might not be to that person. You might not care who you watching, but it's to that act. Your soul is tied to that act, so that when you try to get in a marriage, you trying to break a soul tie with the nasty movies, the same way a man who been sleeping around trying to break a soul tie with the women he been sleeping with. You see what I mean? But this the thing. When it's the movies, it's more easily accessible. That go where you go. You sitting in the car waiting on somebody to come out the store, and you got your old rag. Okay, this my sweat rag. You got your old rag. You sit in the car and you got your movie on your phone. Next thing you know, you doing something. You at the job, going to the bathroom for your little bathroom break, and whip out your little phone and right there in the bathroom. You got all kind of stuff going on, because when you get into the movies, that's readily accessible. Now see, when it was a man who was dealing with other women, them women ain't gonna magically appear on your bathroom break, standing up in the bathroom. sitting in the car while you waiting on somebody. See, when it's a human, you got to go pursue her, talk to her, get her to drop her guards, get her to be in agreement with what you trying to, the sin you trying to get into. But when it's a movie, boom, that movie ain't got no choice. It do whatever you want it to do. You pull it right up on the phone. Okay, phub.com. Okay, here we go. Okay, jerky. Okay, let's get to work anytime you want to. So that's why that's breaking you down. You're a slave to it. It controls you, and that's why you're single. Or that's why you can't build a healthy relationship. That's why you always fussing and fighting like cats and dogs, arguing back and forth with your woman. It's because of that right there, the nasty movie. It's because of that. It's because of your soul tie, your connection with that. And that's why it's so many women, and there's women who gonna watch this, who their relationship was ran into the ground. Their relationship was destroyed by a man's, nasty movie. By his desire and his, connection, that soul tie. Addiction, can't really say the A word on here, to that right there. It ruined marriages, it ruined engagement, it ruined relationships, because this real woman in the real world realized that she can never match this woman that's just being flipped and tossed all day, learning every trick in the book, every trick in the book. And this real woman, she is like, for one, I got a headache. For two, I work 40 hours a week on a real job. I don't do this 40 hours a week like she does. Three, I got a heart. I want to be talked to. I want you to make love to my mind. I want to do dinner with some wine. I want to be wine and dine and really treat it like a woman in order to be in that mood. Whereas Bumblebee Triple X, you just go turn on your phone and you ain't got to do nothing else to get her in no mood. And that's what you get used to as a man, how easy Bumblebee Triple X is, and then how hard now just doing normal stuff like taking your woman out on a nice date, talking to her for an hour about her day and just flowing random conversation. Now that's hard work. Like, imagine when you compare turning on the phone, typing in the website, typing in your password, whatever. You go on the phone. I never visited the site, so I don't know how y'all get in there. I don't know if you got Face ID on there. You got a username, bitd305 at AOL.com with a password. How y'all getting into P-Hub and OnlyFans? I know of them. I've heard of them, but I've never visited the site. You know why? Because I don't know who got my phone tapped. I don't want nobody to look at my search history and see that and think that I'm dealing with that, So I don't know what you got going on over there, but I know it's easier to turn that phone on than it is to turn a real woman on in real life, because that take time. You got to make love to her brain, to her mind. So that's why your relationship suffers. That's why you don't have a real bond. That's why you don't have a real connection. That's why you don't feel like you need her. And then women wonder, they say, well, how he go 3 weeks without touching me? How he go a month? How he just get in the bed? How he just play video games and then take a shower and then he get in the bed and just go to sleep and he ain't touch me, and we been together X amount of years, or we married for X amount of years. It's because of this. It's the nasty movie, or it's just Angela. That's why, especially if you know it work. If you done seen it standing up in the morning, you know it work, but it ain't working on you as a woman. That's because of this. Or it's a whole nother woman. Because a man could watch these here movies long enough and then eventually find a woman that's going to enact, redirect, what's happening on these movies, that she with it, that she down for the cause, because she done lost her soul, she done lost her mind, she lost her innocence, and it took her off her path. It derailed her life. And what may she may cost $100, she may cost 1,000. But if he making the money, then he gonna pay that, because he wanna reenact what he done seen on this here phone. And see, this what I see all the time. I see it happening with young men. Y'all know I work with athletes, pro athletes, and college athletes, and I see what's happening is these athletes across different sports, all they've been able to do since the age of 8 is sports. So real interaction with women, they don't have time for a girlfriend. But what they got time for in the hotel room on their AAU trip, on their tournament that's in another state, is that cell phone with the nasty on there. So then after watching this nasty every day, all day, in every break they get, now when they get some money, whether it's working in corporate or whether it's going to become a pro athlete, now they got the money to pay the escorts. Okay, and then a lot of the escorts actually make them movies in real life, and they do both. So now this how you see there's certain rappers, it's rappers out there that you see that they literally date the stars from the movie. Some of them get the stars from the nasty movies pregnant. Okay, yeah. And the reason why, it comes from the addiction to the movie. You see the movie so much, you watching the stuff so much, you got to meet her in real life, that now you got the money to meet her. Now you could pay her more than that director and producer pay her to do the movie. You could bring her to your house, and now you think you Steven Spielberg and Liam Neeson and Clint Eastwood directing your own movie. Okay? But now that it's in your house, for one, it's costing you thousands of dollars. Two, you selling her the dream of love. Look, she been a robot. She been used. She been taken advantage of. You gonna offer her some love? She love the idea of that. She would love to retire from that and have love. So she think, but don't realize that rapper don't want to love her. He just want to fulfill his fantasy that he been watching since the 8th grade. Not necessarily her, but just that in general. And this is a thief. This right here, this perm, what I'm telling y'all about, these nasty movies, it is a thief. And what does the adversary come to do? To steal, and destroy. When I say that, that's K-I double hockey sticks. Okay, the system picks stuff up and it'll get you. The video will be gone. And so what do the adversary come to do? Steal and destroy. So this right here, these nasty movies, Angela, lust, all of this right here is a thief. It steals your mind. It steals your heart. It steals your character. It steals your integrity. It steals your union with a woman. It steals your commitment to a woman. It steals your faithfulness. It steals your favor. It steals your blessings, and it ruins your family. Because what you will do is you will do enough to meet a woman, get engaged, get married, get her pregnant, but you won't have enough to be all in, to be fully committed, to make love to her mind, then make love to her body, to be present for your children. Why? Because you need that fix. You got to get back over here to get that fix, and that right there control your life. You need it on your break at work. You need it in the morning. You need it at night at home. You starting arguments. You starting arguments with your queen so that you could go spend time with Bumblebee Triple X. Loose Booty 901. Yes. Yes. That's what's going on. And listen, you're going to have to get a hold of it. You're going to have to get a hold of it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, because my estimate is that it's at least 50 to 70% of men going through it. My estimate, based on the relationship coaching that I'm doing with women and their stories about what they man into and how he addicted to them nasty movies, and what I know about men, being a man, being around men, and coaching and mentoring men, I estimate 50 to 70%. And so, see, this is the thing that a lot of people don't think about. People say, why the divorce rates so high? Ain't nothing wrong with marriage. Ain't nothing wrong with marriage. It's something wrong with the people in the marriage. What I just explained to you today, that right there equates for a large percentage of divorces. People try to say it's finances. No, finance is just the excuse. You're not going to divorce somebody because you arguing about what bills to pay first. You're not going to divorce somebody because you arguing about how much money you make or don't make. Money don't end relationships. See, they say the number one reason for divorce is finances. That's because men not going to tell you what they doing in their bathroom. See, money is the scapegoat. Finances is the scapegoat. Irreconcilable differences, that started in your private time. That started in your private closet. That started in your bathroom. That started with that phone screen and that computer screen. Them irreconcilable differences. That led to physical infidelity with another human. That led to an affair with another human. That started. It's your spirit, man. You hear me? It's your spirit, man. It ain't finances. It ain't that. See, I'm in the trenches. I'm behind the scenes. But they're not gonna put that on the news. 60% of marriages or 50% of marriages end in divorce within 10 years or within 7 years, within 5 years. And the number one reason, studies say the number one reason for divorce is finances. They're not going to put up there the number one reason for divorce is men's addiction to nasty movies. Porn. They ain't going to put that on your news because ain't no man going to check that box on a survey. Why did you get divorced? They're going to put finances. They're going to put grew apart. They're going to put irreconcilable differences. They're going to put something like that. The woman may check infidelity, emotional A, physical A. Y'all know that when I say A, I'm talking about the A word, okay? ABUSE, okay? Emotional A, physical A. Somebody asked me, Tony, why you can't say that word? Because I'm on YouTube. It's not TonyTube, okay? They got certain words you ain't supposed to be talking on because they'll knock your video out. So the woman gonna select that. Emotional, physical, spousal, financial, irreconcilable differences, infidelity. But see, the woman don't even know the root of it. Or she might not identify what the root was. That right there, phud.com. Okay, OnlyFans. Okay, all of this right here that y'all into on this here phone. And then you watching this here phone. And then you got Angela over here with your little Jergens. That ain't no paid advertising for Jergens now. You got over there and you over here. Yes, sir. That right there. That's where it started at. So listen, get that under control, fellas. Get that under control. Get your life. If you got to be on your knees crying out, and listen to me. When you have this self-control and you beat this here demon, all right, with your prayers, your supplication, your fasting, whatever it take, guess what? When you feeling those withdrawals and you feeling that urge, guess what? Channel that into your purpose. Channel that energy that you feeling. Run off you 50 push-ups. Run off you 50 bodyweight squats. If you need to do 100, if you could do 100, get everything out of it you can. Channel that energy to working out. And then that when it pop back up, channel that energy into your purpose, forming your business. What's your company name? What colors are your logo? What your logo look like? Okay, what services you gonna provide? What products you gonna provide? What you gonna sell? Okay, how you gonna market it? What social media do you love the most? How you gonna get on there and market it? Okay, how many hours can you work on your job? How much money can you make outside of your job? How much can you put to boosting your post? When you post your product or your service and you hit boost or you hit promote, can you spend $100 a month boosting that? You might see some of my posts and it say sponsored. That's because I put my money there to boost that so it could reach you. It can reach more people. And guess what? It brings a return. That's business. That's marketing. That's where I put my energy at. So guess what, fellas? When I stop giving and spilling my men of the sea, when I stop spilling them other places outside of my wife, I took that energy and I put it in the business. So when you see selfloveyou.com, that's a real site. It's also GaskinsUniversity.com. When you see selfloveyou.com, when you see my shirt that say mymentor.life, when you see me put in the description TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, when you see me post characteruniversity.com, when you go to Tony Gaskins Academy and you see 15 courses, when you go to Self Love You and you see 11, 12 courses, that's where I put my energy. When you go to Amazon.com and you type in Tony Gaskins Jr. and you see my 17, 18, 20 books, that's where I put my energy. So when you say, Tony, how you earn this, how you got 50 plus streams of income, how you started 11 plus companies, this ain't on. I'm not on here with Nasty, with Bumblebee Triple X. Okay? I'm not giving my life to Angela. I'm focused on one woman and all of the energy is being transmuted into my purpose, into focus, into business. And so I'm creating. See, everything that I've been able to create, and that's why I'm ahead of y'all boys. That's why I'm ahead of you, because our focus different. You gonna see other coaches that do what I do, but it ain't now one of them that got as many streams of income as me. Selfloveyou.com, TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, mymentor.life, YouTube, podcast, spoken word on iTunes, t-shirts, cross the board now, books, okay, live events, one-on-one coaching. All right, when we go down the list, I ain't bragging to you. I'm saying this, well, you call it what you want to call it. I'm just telling my testimony. You want to call it bragging? One lady gonna write in, you know, you make a good point, but because of your humble brag, I missed the point. Okay, that's your problem. Don't let your insecurity be offended by my confidence. Okay? Don't let your broke, busted, and disgusted misery that you choose to live in be offended by me giving God the glory for what he done did in my life. Okay, that's why I tell y'all I can't even talk on blessings, because there's so many people that is jealous and butthurt because they choose to reside in misery. Happiness is a choice. Okay, listen to me, fella. Listen to me. When you look around, you gonna see who creating. You gonna see who producing. But I'm gonna tell you how I can produce. I can produce because I got focus. See, when you have focus and then you have faithfulness. See, faithfulness is to your woman if you got a woman, to God, to your purpose, to your calling. When you have focus and you have faithfulness, then you receive favor. Okay? And then a byproduct of those three are your finances being benefited. Okay? So listen to me. Film on this here. Hey, this Tony Gas, I'm gonna get going. I was telling my wife before I shot that, I say, hey, I do a video for the men on Friday. I'm gonna try to keep that around 7 minutes, 15 minutes. But when the Lord go to move, and I just gotta let him move, and you know, I can't turn the spirit off. But you know, the spirit just left me. It just say, Tony, we done. This message here is done. Hey, so God bless you. Check the links in the description in case you need anything from me. God bless you. We'll talk soon.